Good morning. I hope this video finds you healthy and safe. I hope you're staying good and healthy during this corona quarantine. Today we're going to talk about finding pi. I know that y'all know that pi is usually we associate it with, oh yeah, that's 3.14. But honestly, it goes further than 3.14. There's a pi button on the calculator, and it keeps going and going, and honestly, it just keeps going forever. It's an irrational number. But you also know that pi has something to do with circles. So we're going to explore that today. Now, here's what I did. I came up with some canned goods out of my kitchen, just some ordinary things, and a tape measure. If you don't have a tape measure, you could use a string and measure and then lay it down flat and next to a ruler to determine the length. But we're going to start by measuring the circumference of some of these items. And what I found was a can of tuna, some oatmeal, a can of oatmeal, a can of beets, and some makeup. So we're going to start by finding the circumference of each of these items. Now I'm going to zoom out just a little bit because this oatmeal can is rather large. In fact, I'm going to put something to stack that on real quick. So hopefully you can see what I'm doing. So I've got my Quaker Oats, and I'm going to measure their circumference. Y'all, the circumference is all the way around. So I'm just going to take, this is an ordinary tape measure that people use to measure clothing, or maybe they're measuring fabric with it. But I'm going to take it and I'm going to put it right up next to the top and run it all the way around the top of that can of oatmeal. And it looks to me like that it hits about right there, and that is 12. Let's talk about these little marks on here. That's 12. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's divided into eighths. Now it hits right here at this tallest one in between 12 and 13, and y'all know that's 12.5. It's 12 and 1, 2, 3, 4 eighths, but we're going to call it 12.5. So the circumference of the oatmeal is 12.5, and I'm measuring in inches. You can measure in centimeters if you wanted to. Now I'm going to measure the diameter. I'm going to have to do my very best. I don't know why that blue tape's on there. I don't know. We're probably doing another project with it some other time, taping it to something. I'm going to measure across the center. I don't want to be down here. I don't want to be up there. I want to do my best to be right across the center of this. I'll do it right here this way so the words are straight. Looks to me like it's 4. Looks to me like it is 4 inches. So the diameter then is 4 inches. The diameter is all the way across that circle. The beets. Do y'all like beets? I bet y'all do. I bet y'all love them. My kids won't eat them. I don't really like them either. I probably bought them sometime when I was going to do a diet or something. So I'm going to wrap that around there, and I want to get as close as I can. And here's where it hits. It hits right there at about 9, and really it's like 9 1/8 for its circumference. Then measure across here, and that looks like about, maybe I should be using the bottom of that tape measure. It looks to me like it is 2 3/4, 2.75, 2 3/4, or 2.75. Now what about 1/8? What about 1/8? Let's see, what's 1/8 look like as a decimal? looks like 0.125. So I'm going to call that or 9.125. Okay, so that's the tuna. Everybody likes tuna fish. I know you like tuna fish salad. I like onions and apples in mine, but not everybody in my house likes it that way, so usually I just have to add that at the end. The tuna all the way around is 10.25. And the diameter, you go all the way across it, okay. Looks like it's 3.25. Okay. Makeup. Hadn't been wearing much makeup lately. That's why you're not seeing my face on this video. I'll have to get all dutied up so we can Zoom on Tuesday. But no, we're not wearing a whole lot of makeup these days. It's kind of nice, but then on some days I really miss it. I miss y'all. I miss getting together and seeing your faces. Even the ones that are little stinkers sometimes. I miss y'all too. Y'all keep everything real. Keep it interesting. Okay, so I'm measuring this, and it comes out to be 6 inches. And then across the top, you wouldn't think that'd be 6 inches all the way around, but it was. Then across the top, it's going to be really close, but not quite 2. It's 1, and it's that last little mark. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 eighths. 1 7/8. 7 eighths. Now let me change that to a decimal. 7 eighths is this. So this is 1.875. Okay. Now here's what we're going to do next. We are going to, sheet paper right here. We're going to find the ratio of the circumference divided by the diameter. Okay? I should have left me a little more room, but I didn't, but it'll be okay. So this is the circumference divided by the diameter. Okay? So for the first one's oatmeal, it's 12.5 divided by 4. And the next one is the beets. So this is the oatmeal, this is the beets. The beets would be 9.125 over 2.75. I'm using the decimals because we're going to put this in our calculator in just a second. The tuna is 10.25 over 3.25. And the makeup is 6 over 1.875. So, take the calculator. You can use either one you want. You can use your calculator on your phone if that's what you want to use. And we're going to divide 12.5 divided by 4. And that gives me 3.125. Okay, we go to the next one. 9.125 divided by 2.75. Gives me 3.318. Looks like the 1/8s are repeating. 10.25 divided by 3.25 is 3.15. 4 if you're going on and rounding. And the last one, 6 divided by 1.875 is 3.2. Now, y'all know that we measured all of these ourselves, and we probably would have done better if we'd had a centimeter measuring device. But what do you notice about these? This one's a little high. I probably could have went back and measured a little differently, and it probably would have come out a little closer to what it's supposed to. What do you think this is supposed to come out to each time? What are we trying to find again? We're trying to find pi. Pi is approximately 3.14. Well, y'all, we are pretty close here. We're not too far off on the beets. We're equivalent, we're fairly close. Now, how did we come up with that? Remember what we did. We took C and we divided it by D, and we came out with pi. That comes from the fact that the formula for circumference is C equals pi times D. Now, how would I get from here to here? Well, I can multiply both sides of this equation by d, cancel there, and I'd get c equals pi d. And y'all know there's one more way we write it. We've worked this entire thing with the diameter, but you know that the diameter is equal to two times the radius. So you could have c equals 2 times pi times r. See, the 2 and the r normally are put in this order, 2 pi r, but you know that comes from the fact that the diameter is equal to 2 times r. So what I want you to do is I want you to look around your house, see if you have some ordinary items, and see if you can measure their circumference and their diameters and see how close you get to pi. Now, obviously, we're not going to be perfect every time, but just see how close you get to pi. I'm also going to put some problems up on the teacher page that have to do with circles, but I thought y'all might like this little activity.